So one thing I didn't think about when I had stoma surgery was how weird a stoma could be sometimes. Day-to-day life of living with a stoma can be a little quirky, I'll just say that. Now, if you like this video, please don't forget to follow, like, and hype as well. It makes a big difference for new creators. So anyway, I'll just get right to it. So here are the top 7 weirdest things about having a stoma. For those that don't know me, I'm Tommy from Stoma Adventures. I make content on IBD and stomas, and I try and focus on day-to-day life living with a stoma. So farting noises, for people that don't know, are an actual thing with stomas, and it happens to me all the time. Probably down to my diet, or actually no, it is probably just my diet. But it doesn't really bother me anymore. At the time, it was really embarrassing when I first got my stoma. Now, I couldn't really care less. Unless you're in a business meeting or something like that, it can be a bit more, let's just say, embarrassing. So these noises happen more after I've literally just eaten. It just seems to kick in straight after that, or if I've had a coffee for obvious reasons. So it's not all day, every day. It's just maybe if I've not eaten for a little bit and I've got a bit of an empty stomach, that's when it kicks in. Another big one is ballooning. So that happens when the filter on your stoma bag gets blocked and the gas has nowhere to go. So it'll just keep blowing up like this until something pops. I mean, the bag itself is not going to pop, but around the base plate, it's going to leak at some point, so you need to keep on top of that. The way I get around it is I change my bag every night, which is a pain to some people, but it means that I can sleep through the night without the bag ballooning too much. The filters on pretty much every stoma bag I've used do get blocked super quick, so it's quite normal for ballooning to happen. So peeling is another big one that's quite annoying. It's where the stoma bag base plate basically starts peeling away from the skin. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to necessarily leak. It just slowly peels away and it's pretty annoying. See, there are ways of getting around that by using flange extenders or extra adhesives, but I do personally try and avoid using too many products because it can just get a little bit laborious. Another one is itching. Itching with a stoma bag sort of feels like when you've got an itchy foot and you've got your shoe on. The problem is you can't really take the stoma bag off like you can with a shoe. So the only good way of doing it is slapping it. I mean, it's probably not the smartest idea, but the reason why it's probably itching is because it's probably leaking a little bit around here. It doesn't mean you're gonna get a massive leak immediately, so you should be fine for a little bit, but that is usually what itching means, unless you've got sensitive skin or a skin condition or something like that. Now, it wouldn't be a stoma video without mentioning leaks. Praise the Lord, I don't really get leaks anymore. I can't remember the last time I had a leak, and that is because I found the bag that works for me. But leaks can happen for a million different reasons. Most of it can be attributed down to the bag not being correct for you, but there could be other things like skin conditions, or you might have a tricky area where the bag needs to stick to, like you've got scars there or it's too close to your belly button, reasons like that. There are extra things you can buy to help with those. But if you find yourself having regular leaks, make sure you speak to your stoma nurse and try and find a product that works better for you. The next one is the smell. Now, it's a massive misconception that people with stomas smell. They don't. You can't smell a stoma bag from outside. If you notice any smells coming from your stoma bag, it's either got a leak or it's not been cleaned up properly when you empty it. Now, obviously it does smell when you empty it. There's not really any way of getting around that. There are drops that help reduce the smell, which I've used in the past. It does help take the edge off a little bit. I've heard people using mints and stuff to put in the bag, but it's gonna smell. It's poo at the end of the day. But hopefully we can put that rumour to bed that people with stomas smell of poo, which is not true. And lastly, airports. Now, I think I've got a good routine with airports. I'm talking about the UK here. I don't know about the US or any other country, but what happens if you tell them that you've got a stoma is that you need to go to a separate room to be searched. And this is because you could be smuggling anything in your stoma bag, which is fair enough, but it's not the nicest thing to go through, especially if you're not expecting it. The first time I flew, they told me I had to do that and I was a little bit embarrassed, a little bit annoyed, to be honest. But as long as you're prepared that that could be a possibility, then it'll be less of a surprise for you. But one way of getting around it is make sure that you wear a sunflower lanyard. So what this means is, it means that you have a hidden disability, and if you're at the airport, it means you can go through the special assistance lane. Now, what I would say is I wouldn't tell anyone that you have a stoma when you're going through, because they won't ask anyway. If you tell them that you've got a stoma, they will search you. So I'd go through the special assistance lane, go through the scanner, which is normally not the X-ray scanner, so they wouldn't know anyway, and you should just be able to waltz through as usual. Now here's the thing, these things are annoying, they are weird, but they're also funny. You do adapt to these quirks, and you adapt much quicker than you think you will. And honestly, most people that get a stoma, it normally gives them a new lease of life or even saves their life. So it's a small price to pay in my mind to have a better quality of life and even have a life anyway. The weird becomes normal a lot quicker than you think. Now, if you like this video, please don't forget to follow, like, and hype as well. It makes a big difference for new creators. And I've just started this channel, but there's much more content coming out. And if you pop a comment of your weirdest stoma story, I might feature it in the next video. See you next time.